Recording.
Recording?
Hi, Steph. Yes.
Are we
Hello.
recording? Oh, I
We
thought I'm
are.
always late. Sorry about that. How
No,
are
I
you,
gotcha.
everyone?
Hi.
Hi, beautiful family.
Yeah. Here's a special shout out to Grace Moores.
Oh, hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
We're sending you kisses. Mwah.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, wonderful to join with you. We're on lesson 104. It's entitled, I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Today's idea continues with the thought that joy and peace are not but idle dreams. They are your right because of what you are. They come to you from God, who cannot fail to give you what he wills. Yet must there be a place made ready to receive his gifts. They are not welcomed gladly by a mind which has instead received the gifts it made where his belong as substitutes for them.
I think Jesus is talking about the idols that we made to replace the gifts of God, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like while you still want this idol and you want all the things that you've added to it and your degrees and your special relationships and those things that you think bring you pleasure, as fleeting as they may be, these are all our idols and substitutes for God's gifts. But when we're willing to forgive this whole idea of separation, we receive the gifts of God, which are eternal, changeless, perfect, and bring us the joy and peace that we're going to be talking about. Yeah. So depends on what do you value, who are you serving? Because if you want this, you're certainly not going to want to make room for God's gifts, because those will remind you that you're not mythical me. Today, we would remove all meaningless and self-made gifts which we have placed upon the holy altar where God's gifts belong. These are the gifts which are our own in truth. These are the gifts which we inherited before time was, and which will still be ours when time has passed into eternity. These are the gifts which are within us now, for they are timeless. And we need not wait to have them. They belong to us today. Therefore, we will to have them now. And know, in choosing them in place of what we made, we but unite our will with what God wills and recognize the same as being one. Not until we accept the gifts from God are we able to experience and really know that our will and the Father's is one. We'll always think we have a separate will while we think we've got gifts not from God that we prefer.
Yeah. What I'm feeling is, again, chapter 19 of the text, the obstacles to peace. Yeah. And the first obstacle to peace is the desire to get rid of it. Peace. Okay. And again, the desire to get rid of it. How do we desire to get rid of it? Well, all those idols.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Purpose of those idols in the gap.
When we're at home in God, our mind is at peace when we are willing with God, when we know what we are. This idea of separation brought us great angst and fear, guilt, right? And then that's projected out into this gap. So this is the antithesis of peace. But this was our choice to experience ourselves as not at one with God. This whole thing is just this concept of a will apart from God. That's it. So when we're ready to will with God and forgive what we thought we made, we can experience God's will. And this is God's will, union.
So there's a place within us. Thank you, sis. There's a place within us
right now
where the gifts of God are and cannot be threatened.
Yes.
By anything that we seem to see, by the illusions that we seem to see and feel through the body and its 5 senses.
Right.
So that place, I mean, feeling into this place, that place is available to us to access in any time, in any moment, any holy instant that we're willing to exchange our concern or our whatever it might be, anxiety, for what he's already given us.
Right.
It's not something we need to wait for.
And how do we access that? How do we come to that place that's already in our mind that holds God's gifts for us? What is our only function here?
I forgot.
It's
ice cream or chocolate? Sorry.
Lots and lots of sex. So through forgiveness. It's through forgiving.
What did you say? How do you spell that?
This is being naughty again.
I am. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Yeah, but at any moment to forgive the hallucination, forgive the gap, and join with your right mind, the Holy Spirit. That's the healed part of your mind that's available within your consciousness right now that you can join with. Instead of defending against it, forgive yourself for what you were believing and turn and accept the atonement, which is coming back to the Father's mind and my mind are one. I share those thoughts with God. It's claiming that this is the only reality that there is or can be. It's surrendering to the truth that this is where you live and move and breathe. And in this, you receive. What are you receiving? The gifts of God. And what are those gifts? They're timeless. They're changeless. They're perfect. They cannot be withdrawn. You cannot be in a state of lack. He's given us the kingdom of heaven, which exists in your mind. So we're giving away hallucinations in exchange for the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're doing when we are willing to accept the gifts of God. Is there any sacrifice in that? Is there loss in that? Should you be frightened to receive the gifts of God when you begin to understand what they are? He says they are your right because of what you are. And
we're not both the ego and the holy self, right? No. We're only one.
That's the mistaken identification. That's what we're forgiving. We're forgiving Coreen. We're forgiving the idea of Nouk. It's just, this is what I am. Okay.
So in any instant that we're willing to show up, he's saying there's a place within us, right, to receive his gifts. So that place never changes. And what I'm finding, especially recently, is that place, when I'm willing to go there, that place is fearless. It's the state of fearlessness. And in that state of fearlessness, when I'm prepared, when I'm willing to accept and receive it, is love. His love with a capital L. That's what is there. Okay. And in there is that feeling state of that unopposed and incorruptible innocence.
That's right.
And that's what brings the state of fearlessness in. So, there's a knowing of blamelessness. And the means by which I reach it is through my function, my only function, which is, I can't remember, chocolate, ice cream? No, what was it again? Forgiveness.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding, guys. Sorry.
It's
true, consistent forgiveness. That's
right.
It. Yeah.
And you won't know that until you're willing to will with God. willing to accept his gifts for you instead of the ones that you made as a substitute. Be done with them. Have they ever paid off or brought you anything? It's entering in and accepting it. And the gift is salvation, which we've just been speaking about, that it is your known, felt, experienced state of incorruptible innocence, a mind that is totally free from any contraction, just in a state of safety and peace and a love that cannot change.
And it's beautiful, really, sis, too, because in that state, especially when our trust advances, and we can feel that state more often, like on a daily basis, what we're going to find is it's mirrored in the seeming external world.
That's right. That's
it's
right.
mirrored from others. It's mirrored by our living environment.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a big point.
It's very, very nurtured, isn't it? Nurturing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true perception for a while, still the realm of perception, but yet everything is made beautiful and harmonized and you can't experience lack, right? I mean, and isn't that the grace of God that just says, I know that what you think you've made, it's not real, yet it's perfected. It becomes happy for a while until you're the thought of being met by God doesn't cause you fear anymore. Like you can't stand to be apart from God, so that when true perception finally even goes, you're so beyond ready for that because there's no fear. I think that's the most loving, to come in and transmute or transform what we thought we made in opposition to God into a happy dream before he takes the final step.
A gentle awakening from the dream.
Right. Gentle like the sunrise.
Yeah.
It's just happening. It's not like a Band-Aid being torn off.
Oh, no. Mind you, I have had those experiences too.
Okay. Sometimes that's appropriate, but most of the time it's gentle like a sunrise. Oh God, shut up, Coreen. Okay. Paragraph 4 in the COA version is, our longer practice periods today, the hourly 5 minutes given truth for your salvation, should begin with this.
Okay, well, I'm lost.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Yes, I see. Our longer practice periods today, the hourly 5 minutes given truth for your salvation, should begin with this. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm found.
You're found. You're never lost.
Right.
I seek but what belongs to me in truth. And joy and peace are my inheritance.
Can I just say something here?
Please.
When I first started the course, I found the lingo really challenging, meaning the language.
Yeah.
I with all the buts and the buts and the double negatives, I was just, totally confused. But what did help me, and I don't know how this came about, but what helped me was many times when the word but is placed there, what I got from Holy Spirit was that change the word to only.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If it's challenging, if your but is challenging you, change it to only. So I seek only what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. That seemed to help me a lot in those first few years.
Yes.
Thanks, sis.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the irritation when I first picked up the course. It's like, say what you mean what you say. Why is this roundabout, But it really does. It bypasses the ego, I think, the thinking, intellectual mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It has a higher purpose.
Yes, it does. Okay, so I seek only what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. Then lay aside the conflicts of the world, which offer other gifts and other goals made of illusions, witnessed to by them, and sought for only in a world of dreams. All this we lay aside and seek instead that which is truly ours, as we request to recognize what God has given us. We clear a holy place within our minds before his altar, where his gifts of peace and joy are welcome, and to which we come to find what has been given us by him. We come in confidence today, aware that what belongs to us in truth is what he gives. Right. And we would wish for nothing else, for nothing else belongs to us in truth. So do we clear the way for him today by simply recognizing that his will is done already, and that joy and peace belong to us as his eternal gifts. We will not let ourselves lose sight of them between the times in which we seek for them where he has laid them. This reminder we'll bring to mind as often as we can. Will we? This reminder will we bring to mind as often as we can. I seek only what belongs to me in truth. God's gifts of joy and peace are all I want. And I like that reminder again about, we're just asking for what has already been given. God's will is already done. Peace and joy do belong to us. It is in our mind. It's available to us this very instant if we would make room for them by forgiving what we've made as their replacements. You can't hold both, love and love's opposite. Peace and peace's opposite, meaning all the conflict. We need to forgive that conflict in order to receive the gift of peace that's in your mind. All that he's asking us to do is make that room to welcome God and his gifts in, instead of defending with the gap and all that we put in it. I seek but what belongs to me in truth.
Well, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks, sis. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.